Welcome everybody to this week's KubeVirt community meeting. It is the 26th of November 2025. Before we get started, or I guess as we're getting started, if you could please pop your name down here in the attendees, that would be super helpful. I'm going to do this. That's me. I'm also going to put the agenda link in chat just in case anyone doesn't have it. Okie dokie. Hey, how you going? I hope you're having a lovely day wherever and whenever you are. Before we get started, is there anyone who is new this week or would like to take the time to introduce themselves? Okie dokie. We'll do a quick schedule check-in on both schedules, considering we have both active. So this schedule hasn't been updated, but I have updated on the calendar. And hopefully people are aware that version 1.7 has not been released, but will be released hopefully today. Where are my participants? Is there a Lubo here? Or anyone else from the release team who can confirm that that is the
At least
case?
one Lubo is here.
Oh, there is Lubo? Why not two? Yeah, is that correct, Lubo?
Apologies, I just joined and the audio wasn't working while you were speaking. So can you repeat?
Sorry. Pardon me. 1.7, we are good to go today.
Yes, yeah, I hope so. I'm not aware of anything which is blocking it, so I will kick it off and it will appear after the jobs run around, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, hopefully.
Okay, it'll be a late release. In which case the release might go out today theoretically, but we'll potentially announce it tomorrow.
The tag will be there. The release as a release page on GitHub might be later.
Right on. Okay.
But
And
also it depends on your time zone, you know. If you are in US, then you probably make it on time. But
yeah,
Europeans will probably not see it today.
and those in Australia are right out of luck. I think it's already ticked over.
Yeah, apologies.
But look, the 27th is the new 26th. And are we still, does CDI also get it pushed back by a week?
I don't have the information.
Okay.
Like trying to look if there is anybody from.
It doesn't look
Yeah, I
like it.
don't. Yeah, I don't see anybody.
Alrighty. So that's what's happening with 1.7. Let's have a quick check at 1.8. I think really the only thing, and I'll keep hammering this until we hit it, is the vet freeze deadline, which is early January, the 7th of January. I don't know what that day that is, but there's going to be a bunch of people that come back from potentially the holidays and have that looming and immediately thrust upon them. I'm sorry. Is it my microphone again? Let me know if this still isn't good. I'll try a different microphone, I guess.
It's good on my side. It's maybe like your voice is a little bit different.
Oh, okay. It could be because I'm recovering from illness, and that's why it's a little garbled.
No, it's not garbled. You're 5'9".
Oh, okay,
You
cool,
just said it
cool,
sounded
cool.
different.
Gotcha. Um, and so 7th of January, it's worth repeating, as our VEP freeze with a code freeze of the 25th of February. So yesterday we had our VEP meeting. So if you've got a VEP that needs attention, in 2 weeks' time, there will be the next one. speaking of which, what do you think to look at here? Jump right ahead and have a look at the calendar, because we have a pretty busy calendar now, week by week. Okay. We've got all these, obviously, SIG compute later today, and then code quality and SIG performance on Thursday. And then next week, apart from the SIG network and storage meetings, we're discussing VEP 97. This is the one that's been brought to us by Microsoft about enabling alternate hypervisors. So if that interests you and your name wasn't on the list from last week, that's now in the calendar. That should be publicly available. And we've also got confidential computing. And then the rest are as normal. Okay, and our CFP check-in, the only thing that I'm aware of is FOSDEM, the Virt Cloud and for Dev Room. Now, obviously, there are the dev rooms. So if you've got something that might not fit that, but you're interested in attending FOSDEM and speaking there, please do check out the other dev rooms. There's a whole bunch of them, too many to list here. So check that on the FOSDEM webpage. Unfortunately, our submission for a stand was not accepted. I won't use the word rejected, but it wasn't accepted. So we won't be there. But I think that either the CNCF or the Linux Foundation have a stand there. So we might be representing on that. So this is the 5th of December. Is that next week? It is next week, next Friday. So if you're umming and ahhing about whether to put the proposal in, just put it in. Just do it. And do it this Friday or maybe next Monday or something like that. FOSDEM's great, and it's always nice to see a healthy KubeVirt contingent at FOSDEM. That's my sales pitch. If you need more encouragement, please ping me offline. I will throw more words at you. Okay, so someone has thrown the GA requirements in relation to end-to-end test coverage up here, but I don't know who it is.
Yeah, it's me, the
Hey, all right.
troublemaker. So I hope it will be quick. We don't have to dig into it too much here. I saw an incident that, and I remember this was discussed that if a feature needs to reach GA, then it needs to have coverage in our CI, in the end-to-end test at least, and run on CI. So, but we have like now all kind of special cases with architecture, hypervisors in the future, and also in the example that I had is confidential computing that is it has hardware dependencies on the node. So my question is, even if we add an end-to-end test, and it is not running on CI, then how do we treat this? Like, I don't see. I mean, I see a problem that we add a test and it is not running there. Maybe someone in some downstream special case they do have the hardware, they can run it, but if it's not available to execute on upstream CI, then what we're supposed to do?
I was thinking about exactly the same. It's kind of difficult, especially with those exotic, combinations of. So for example, for NVIDIA, we didn't have a hardware for a very long time, but we did graduate some of it. I'm not sure. I mean, in the worst case, we can graduate and it would just be on. We know that the API is working. We know that there are tests written. It just we don't run them, but it doesn't interfere with the rest of the core. So maybe that's okay if this is isolated. There will be cases that we won't be able to cover everything. I'm not sure that we even want to. Do we want to hang on all of these exotic hardware combinations? I'm not sure.
Yeah. So one of the problem is that you have, like, if you have a test, for example, defined, someone creates a test and tests it on a specific hardware on his local setup, then first we need to trust him that this test is actually doing the right thing, and it's also in the upstream project. It looks like it's like dead code to the project with this sense, like nothing executes it. So I don't know. Yes, it's a question that I raised that I don't have the answer, but maybe we should have a policy or some exception path so we can decide there are exceptions like this.
For example, in the case of oh, sorry, Lee, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so with ARM, I came across this recently because we're not kind of running all of the tests upstream against ARM. It's actually an alarmingly small subset that we actually run up there. And I initially posted an enhancement that looked at actually capturing per feature gate an Arch kind of level of support and associated kind of testing upstream. So if we fully verify something upstream for a particular architecture, marking that against the feature gate somehow, like would that help in the situation to have? Because by the sound of it, this particular kind of confidential computing thing is going to be behind a feature gate or something. So expressing the upstream kind of verification of a feature gate, would that be a thing? Would that be useful? Yeah.
So yeah, sorry.
No, Radi, please continue.
I think confidential computing it's a little bit complex because for AMD, CVSMP, we have hardware, and that's fine. We can test that, and then the same goes with the IBM Z secure execution. We can do that, and now we are developing a attestation, which is generic. Hopefully, the only downside, the only thing that we don't have is TDX. So for TDX, I'm not sure. I don't know if we'll have this hardware, and I don't know if we really need to test this specific code because eventually this is just a device plugin. So I don't know if we really that care.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. Sorry, go on, Eddie. You go first.
No, so I mean, maybe I didn't understand you well, but I think you gave an example which is easier. Like I have a test that I can run the test against AMD or x86 and so on, all kind of permutations or the same test. So it's just about against what I'm running. But this is, for example, this one is the example I think that was raised here is a bit different. This is like a test that is dedicated to a specific. It will work only with a specific hardware, this TDX thing, and you need to have this. It will not work with anything else. So it's like you have a test written, and it's supposed to run only on hardware with TDX. So this means that on upstream CI you cannot execute it because you don't have this hardware. So it will never run, and it will only run on someone that will have the hardware in some downstream or on locally in his setup, and they can execute the test. That's like a more, I guess, extreme case.
Yeah. No, I get that. I would like us though to think about potentially like writing this down somewhere, the actual state that things are in, because with ARM we're in a weird situation now with the docs. We're manually needing to keep the docs up to date and track all of this stuff. And with this specific case with attestation and stuff, does the capabilities tracking enhancement that's up at the moment, does that help at all? If we can express that something is supported but not tested or something through that capabilities API, would that help with this?
So removing the feature gate and declaring that there's a limited what supportability?
Well, yeah, like as upstream, it's supported. We know that downstream, like expressing that somehow, expressing this complicated state somehow, but through that API or through that way. Because yeah, again, if this is just in the dock somewhere, it's gonna rot. It's not gonna. It's it's gonna need constant maintenance. Whereas if it's actually kind of properly in the code, it's gonna be a lot easier, I think.
Do we have? I wonder if this is not a question of if we didn't come up with the right interface. I mean, if that would be, or maybe the API is incorrect.
I agree with you, Vladik, but I mean, I think this may be one of the directions. So either an exception and explain it well, or what you just said, I think. But I also want to, I'm sorry, I feel like the discussion will continue forever, so maybe we should give the others a chance as well. And this is, Andrew, you should have done this. You should have stopped us.
It just sounds like an interesting conversation to have. And we've still got 10 minutes. Is this something that
Up
should
to you,
continue
Vladik.
to SIG compute?
Yeah, everything is SIG compute. This meeting, if something is not resolved, this goes to SIG compute.
Vlad's proposing
we will try to
separate
do it
call.
offline. We'll try to do it offline. We'll continue this discussion offline. So I just wanted to raise awareness. If someone is interested, then let's have the discussion at
Yeah.
some other forum. Thank you.
And it does sound like people are interested in this. Thanks, Ed, for bringing that up. We'll come back to this point that we have here about the user guide, feature guide, because we have talked about it before, and there are other things on the list, and Ed stole all of our time. A PR to look at, I think this is what this is, I guess a strategy for S390X.
Yeah, that's me. It's not a PR, it's an issue still, because there's a lot of discussion how to solve this. It's about guestless VMIs doesn't really work on S390X, as S390X expects a disk to be there. So there was a whole discussion about this. I picked this up, read through the discussions. Maybe someone is here from that, then we could talk about it. If not, could be a little bit harder, maybe. The question here is that there need to be a drop-in replacement for this gasless mode. There was a lot, like Alpine was proposed and Cirrus was proposed, and maybe a third option about like a custom kernel. And yeah, I tried to, I made a build of Cirrus, what is not supported right now, but yeah, I successfully built Cirrus, and there was the question of our team then of if Cirrus would be accepted at all as a drop-in replacement here, or if another solution is expected. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm just not sure what does guestless mean.
If there's there's basically no real disk attached here to the VM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
we use it for like optimizing the end-to-end tests, because then the firmware itself doesn't really require a lot of memory. Not really sure it's helping today in the state of the CI. So maybe we could switch to simplest possible VM again and see what it does.
Yeah, the thing is, for these tests, if I understood it correctly, we don't want to boot up a whole OS. That would be a little bit too time and resource consuming. So there's this That's why this guestless exists, as long as I know. But the question is also if someone is here who was either part of the discussion or knows anything.
I was not part of the discussion, but I was wondering maybe we can replace those with a VMs that actually have a disk, but the disk just contains an EFI binary, like the EFI shell, and that would be super cheap to run, and that would not use more resources than a diskless.
Instead of Alpine or Cirrus, you would say then like a custom.
Yeah, just an EFI shell image, really.
Yeah. That's. I think that's something I looked into right now, because there's this KVM unit tests, or the unit tests of KVM. Are also, I'm not sure I linked it in the issue, are also doing that. But I'm not sure about this. So
What about just a kernel on a container disk? And
yeah.
now,
This is what the KVM unit tests are doing, and this is what I'm trying to build right now and see if we can use it as a drop-in replacement. So you guys would say that this is the best way, because this is quite new. As you see, I just figured this out three hours ago, and before that I worked on Cirrus, but then we found out that Cirrus doesn't really look like it's actively maintained, or we weren't sure if it's maintained, so if it makes sense to enable it or not for S390X.
So the PR to replace Cirrus with Alpine for many tests has just been merged, so it's less of a problem now.
Okay, yeah. So Cirrus was replaced by Alpine.
Yeah, in I want to say the majority of our tests. I'm not sure if it's big PR.
Yeah. Okay, then it wouldn't make any sense to use Cirrus here, because I guess it would be like the best case would be to use the same image as, like, the same OS if possible, right? So probably the way to go would be the custom, like, kernel, microkernel for this, if I understood correctly from your side.
Sounds good to me. As well.
Okay. Then I will look into this. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. We'll walk it through. No. Just quickly, the AI policy, Lee has done a bunch of updates. If you haven't looked at it in the last 3 weeks or something, Lee, I think it looks good to go. If you have thoughts and feelings about the AI contribution policy in KubeVirt, yeah, put them on the board now, or else we'll probably merge this relatively soon. So I just wanted to put that in front of people.
Andrew, just quickly with that, I'm going to be out for the next 4 to 6, 8 weeks potentially. Can I mark you as a contributor on that branch? Just potentially, if there's anything that needs a quick refinement and spin,
Yeah.
could you just handle that? And awesome, thank you.
No worries. Nir, it looks like you're just looking for a quick root approval.
Yes, that's correct. It's a PR that validates input for memory from huge pages, and it had a mistake in the error messages that it emitted. So we fixed those, and has an LVTM, and now I need a root approval. It's a really quick review.
If someone please jump onto that, that would be appreciated as well. The release notes, this can wait till tomorrow, but I had to do an update with the 5 or 6 bugs that updated the release notes. So I need an LGTM back on that, if you'd please. And now I've got some things up here, and you got 1 minute each. Cheryl, you've got a prospective VEP.
Yeah, we're being asked to finally automate the CI/CD for CDI for S396. And I think it's worthy because it's a little complicated calling external systems. And I think that it is going to require a VEP, and I think we should take it to SIG CI, even though it's very early in the morning for me. So that's what I have to say. I'm done. So
Thank you, and you kept your time. Appreciate that. Andre, you've got a note here about talking. Oh, sorry, Daniel, I see you're here. Are you still here? Does it make sense for Cheryl to bring that to SIG CI?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Nice one. Thank you. Andre, you've got a note here about NVIDIA and KV library.
I would like to talk to this person, Yashi Hadas, that according to this video that the maintainer of KVM say that this guy from NVIDIA have done the GPU live migration for KVM. And I would like to talk to him, but I send email for him and nobody answers. I would like to talk to someone that is from NVIDIA in this group about.
Lay was here, but I can't see him anymore. You might want to ping them on the KubeVirt dev Slack.
Yeah, but I think this is a much lower level than
Yes.
what we are dealing with in this group.
For sure. This is why I would like to talk to the guy that have written the code. Okay, but he's not answered my emails. I would like to talk to someone on NVIDIA to talk to him. Okay. Is there someone from NVIDIA here in this group?
Not today.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's try
You
next.
might have luck bombing the SIG scale meeting tomorrow.
Okay.
Don't
Thank
tell
you.
them I said that. All right, so we've kept time. Yeah, again, please look at those PRs. Thank you very much, everyone, for your participation today, and I hope you all have a lovely week. See you next time.
okay, thanks.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
End meeting.